My name is Sophia Binder, and I am the Marketing Associate at NMS Consulting, Inc. NMS is a top global management consulting firm with a focus on business transformation and strategic growth. Unlike other consulting firms, we provide the expertise of big firm consultants, but without the high costs. So we're joined today by Aykut Cakir, who is the Managing Director, Senior Partner, and Head of MENA Region at NMS. Aykut has worked for major Fortune 500 companies such as Procter Gamble, Roche Pharma Group, and John Deere. He has 28 years of experience in operational finance, accounting, and in general management with international business experience, including the USA, Europe, the Middle East, Turkey, so everywhere basically. And Aykut holds a bachelor's degree in finance and economics from the University of North Carolina. He also teaches financial analysis, project management, and decision-making classes part-time at the Beykent University. Lastly, he's published an internationally accredited article on financial perspective on cost of palliative care. So thank you so much for joining us today, Aykut. I'm really eager to hear your responses to the questions that I have lined up for you.
Thank you very much, Sophia. Very happy to be here.
Perfect. So without further ado, then, should we jump into the questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So first and foremost, what brought you to NMS Consulting?
Well, actually, that was purely a coincidence because I was involved in consultancy business 2 years ago and started up my own company with my partners. And we were also following a lot of international consultancy firms as well. So I came across NMS Consultancy, where the mission and vision of the NMS was very parallel to ours. So I contacted with Arthur Mansourian and Trevor Saliba, and here we are. We became part of NMS Group for a while, and very happy to be part of the family. That
Very
was
nice.
a short story. Yep, and we're doing great so far.
Very good. So that leads us then to the next question, obviously, which is, what is your role at NMS Consulting?
Well, my professional task is actually the mergers and acquisitions, financial audits, and basically financial services. Nevertheless, given our region, which is being influenced by the global impact of everything, including the pandemic, and also it's a very developing region. If you look at the Balkans, Middle East, and North Africa, and professionalism and setting up corporate culture, as well as integrating that corporate culture and businesses with the global needs, requires some sort of consultancy where we kick in as a business partner. So in this position, we're trying to develop and bring a new meaning to the consultancy, where we actually, side by side with our clients, provide services and try to add value to their business growth, and also open channels to be more global in this perspective in a competitive environment. That's right, basically what my role is.
Perfect. So given your role, how would you describe your leadership style?
Well, and actually, when we look at our region, because I have a quite diverse team of employees from Turkey, from Middle East, and even from Africa. So I'm kind of being a older family member who's trying to nurture all my employees. I see them as a great value and asset. And I also, in my leadership style, is a kind of hybrid style. It's crossing with coaching and mentoring with the people, associates, even with some of the senior consultants. So in most of the time, I want them to participate in every decision we make that is strategic. I want to participate and follow the rules of our global values. I also like them to learn more and more of everything from the businesses that is very diverse throughout the region.
Perfect. So then I'm curious to know how or what factors you consider when defining your long-term goals for a business. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yes, Sophia. Long-term goals, well, given the current environment with this COVID, long-term goals is really, really hard to assess. But I mean, we're struggling, as the whole world is struggling with regard to what is going on around us,
Of course.
which is very unfortunate. Nevertheless, when we look at it with our relationship with the clients, and also as NMS MENA region, we're on some takeoff position. So we're trying to be sustainable as far as the growth is concerned. And we would like to see more and more satisfied clients, because given the environment and all these pandemics, we're facing a lot of challenges. Most of the people are not losing their jobs. They're not able to go to the offices, and consultancy is becoming ever more important than it was before, because our experiences, global experiences in particular, are becoming a more value added to the businesses, local businesses in the region. So what we're looking at right now is basically in long term, is so to speak, we want to sustain the business with a lot of satisfied clients.
So then
speaking, yeah.
Perfect. So then speaking of the difficulties that we're facing, what is the most difficult decision that you've had to make in a managerial role? Has it been perhaps in the COVID-19 era, or was it something else?
Well, it is almost every time it's the same case. It's when the world hits crisis financially, all businesses, regardless of how big you are, you could be on top 10 on the Fortune 500, you could be bottom 1,000 in the world. But when it comes to financial crisis, when it comes to stagnation in economics and financial world, it's always layoff. It always ends up, it touches somehow lives of the people. And when it comes to that, is the most difficult decision is to select who's to be laid off. And when you look at those people, they all are really precious people, adding a lot of value to business with a lot of experiences, so many years of loyalty. But at the end, you have to make a selection based on very objective factors when it comes to laying off the people. I think for any manager or for any business, laying off people due to the financial crisis is the hardest decision to make.
Right, I can just imagine. And I'm curious to hear about your values as a leader. So what are your values as a company leader, and how do you ensure that those values are upheld by employees?
Well, first of all, trust is the most important value we're looking at it, because trust is like spirit, very spiritual thing. It's the soul. When you lose your soul, you never get it back. So this is the given number one condition is trust with my employees. Honesty and transparency is the second when it comes to the values. Accountability, respect for other people, other businesses, empathy, and accountability, of course, go along with it, and resilience, because being able to adapt quickly to traumatic cases and stress factors, and even sooner you overcome with, the better the results you'll get. Therefore, when I look at it, I have 5 major let's say bullets that I would consider as the values of the company. And during the selection process, most of the colleagues I work with, I know them for many years. And then we had established that trust and respect, not for only for ourselves, for also our clients, because our clients knows their best, because they're manufacturers, they're service providers. We don't know their business as well as they do, or as good as we can perform as when it comes to the business. But one thing we claim, we know management better. Therefore, our services to add our experiences, our touch into their business to bring in further productivity, more profits, and sustainability for their businesses. So that's basically the core values for our company here in Turkey, or for the MENA region.
What is your current and ideal work-life balance? And what measures do you take to control the work-life balance of you and your employees? Because it's likely not very easy given this time period. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, during these times, a lot of people are, to be honest, bored to be at home because home office is being spending a lot of time with family and friends, to be honest, and children as well. So actually, everyone else is looking for really going out and getting the back to office and the environment. But in reality, the balance is so important because when you work becomes your whole life, you exhaust yourself, not only yourself, but you exhaust also people around you. And therefore, the balance is a must. I learned this long time ago. Well, a long time ago, having said that, is like 5 years ago, because I was a workaholic myself. Right. At the end, I had to pay dearly for the consequences because of being a workaholic. At the end, your performance declines because you cannot keep up the same performance 24/7. And then also you make people around you miserable, and they also feel like they have to work as hard as you are working, and also that destroys their social life as well. So this balance is very important. What we do in the office, we get together once a week. We actually it's a social gathering. We not only discuss business performances, what we did during the week. We have a book club that we encourage them to read books, one book in every 2 weeks, and then we discuss around them, because our most important asset is our intellectual capability. So reading books, getting different ideas, learning them, and also being in a social environment helps and balances this. And also, I never say no to our employees when they want to go on vacation. As an example, I'm on vacation right now. So, but I'm still working, but it's balanced. So I'm trying to do best. It's very important.
It's a big difference when you're working from, a beachside area. Changes the whole feeling.
It's a lot of motivation, by the way.
Definitely, absolutely. So my next question, I'm very curious to hear your opinion on this. What do you think are the biggest challenges our industry, management consulting, will face in the next 5 years? Could you share your thoughts on that?
Yes. Well, the first thing is because the uncertainty in our lives because of COVID, I don't think it's going to go away very soon. So we need to somehow adapt. And a lot of companies around us are becoming very responsive. In terms of our industry, consultancy is concerned, there is more and more need and demand for consultancy services. We see that from our clients because we are asked to join them on their executive committees, and as far as sharing, crisis control, crisis management, financial restructuring, organizational restructuring, all that requires some consultancy at least. And most of them, some of the companies we see, their C-level positions are being kind of eliminated. Instead of the C-level positions, they are assigning consultancy firms to their boards. I see in the next 5 to 10 years, the consultancy business will continue to grow at an increasing rate. Nevertheless, I also see a threat because the artificial intelligence coming to our lives. And when this artificial intelligence starts collecting data from all of us, and then it can make their own decisions and can provide consultancy services very well. However, nothing beats the experience. So consultancy will be here to stay. So I expect the growth in consultancy business in the future as well, at least for the next 5-10 years.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I have my very last question, which is, because we talked a lot about, business and consulting and everything, but what is the most interesting about you that isn't on your resume? Could you share something with us?
Sure. I'm a very good cook.
Oh, really?
I was a cook during my college years in a Tex-Mex restaurant, and I started from the scratch. I learned a lot about cooking. So I bake breads. I am particularly good with the Mexican dishes and also with Far East dishes. My favorites are nasi goreng is one of them. And I do a lot of noodles. And of course, almost all, I can do fajitas, burritos, guacamole sauce are very famous. So I enjoy cooking. And of course, when it comes to the Turkish food, the Turkish kitchen is very famous as well, but I'm not so good at it. Only thing I can cook as in the Turkish cuisine are the kebabs. That's it, because it's easy to grill. But I like the curry paste, noodles, and I can also make my own noodles as well. So I'm a good cook. Yeah, that's not on my resume.
Very impressive.
When I retire, I may open up a restaurant just for the fun of it.
Well, I'm glad I asked that question. That was very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. And that was my last question. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. I really, really appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure. And to recap, my name is Sophia Binder, and we spoke with Aykut Cakir, who has, extensive knowledge in the field, and it was so interesting to hear what you shared today. And if anybody has any questions about NMS, or if you're interested to learn more about what we do, feel free to reach out to us at info@nmsconsulting.com. And the email and our website is going to be linked below.